Hello, everybody, anybody. This is Neil's Han Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. And buy some silver and some platinum. That platinum is taken off. Tomorrow is my birthday, and this is the first year in 55 years that I will not be getting a birthday card from my mother because she passed away on Halloween last year. And I was just feeling kind of depressed over that. It's supposed to be a happy day, blah, 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 birthday, whatever. But it's not. But I do start a new job tomorrow as a connector, and that's always a good thing. People love connectors. It'll be about a 5-day job. And I had to put one of my dogs down. It looks like I'm going to have to put another one down. I'm going to take him to the vet. Not this week, coming up next week after I get paid. And see what's wrong with him. And I might have to put him down. So it hasn't really been. And my cat, Tick, my dog cat, got ran over. Man, just hasn't been a good. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, it does suck, man. Thanks. They say only in threes. Mine's coming in like sixes, man. It's really, really bad. But life goes on, as they say. That's why you have friends. I'm actually working, Kevin. Got a connecting job I'll be doing tomorrow. All next week, actually. But yeah, I'm going to look into getting some milkweed because I have a 2 terrace front before it gets to my jasmine fence line where I get the flat. And I stuck some strawberries out there in an open area. I'm thinking, just throw some milkweed out there as well, except for the cats. I don't know how the cats and butterflies will get along. I think the cats will attack the butterflies. So how are you doing, Kevin? Yeah, I can see it right now. The cat's jumping in there, going for the butterflies. I love butterflies. I actually have butterflies flying out there now because I have bird of paradise. I've got a jasmine fence line. I've got rosemary. The neighbor has a fucking whole front full of rosemary. All kinds of shit. There's a lot of hummingbirds and not the monarch butterfly, but a different type of butterfly around here. It is a colorful, but it's not monarch. That they do every 3 years. I think they come up this way. Going to New Orleans for what? Stay away from the Hard Rock Cafe Hotel. That thing collapsed a couple of years ago because of bad construction. I don't know if it made the national news, but I keep up with ironworkers business. Stay away from Hard Rock Cafe. That thing. They even had problems when they demolished. They were demolishing the building after it collapsed on its own, and they wanted to demolish the tower cranes that were on either side of the building. And the building, one half of it, the roof collapsed all the way down. So they tried to demolish or bring down the tower cranes, and they failed at that too. That building is cursed. It's the Hard Rock Cafe in New Orleans. I would stay away from it. The construction industry down there is inspectors get 2 paychecks, one for doing their job and one for not doing their job. And the one not doing their job gets a bigger check. So you can tell which one's going to be more feasible down there. Not that I'm saying they're all corrupt, but all I'm saying is the Hard Rock Cafe should not have collapsed if everyone was doing their job. So what kind of work do you do, Kevin? See, I don't even know how to run this thing. There's feedback, dashboard. A lot of features I don't have access to. Warehouse supervisor. Right on. I build warehouses every now and then. Just built one for PG&E out here by the Napa Airport. And those metal buildings, not structural steel. We call them metal buildings, like metal sheds, but huge. So they're metal buildings, not sheds, but they're not structural steel. I think it's kind of flimsy steel myself, but if that's what you want to buy, that's what you want to buy, I guess. What type of just all kinds of stuff comes in your warehouse, or specific to like Pioneer or Toshiba or Yamaha or Walmart or Amazon? Actually, I hear Amazon's not doing that well right now. As a warehouse supervisor, Kevin, how is your business doing for what you guys are warehousing? I know you saw that thing that Ninja put out. Hydraulic valves. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure you saw that thing, 4-part series Ninja put out for the Amazon in their warehouses. They're using them to store their employees' cars instead of products. So they don't have products in those big warehouses. But anyhow, we shall find out within the next year or so how this is all going to work out. Have you heard anything on the next? Okay. Well, hydraulic valves, man, those are definitely a needed thing. Hydraulics is big in all kinds of equipment usage, and valves are needed. Glad you're working, though. That's for damn sure. Stack that silver and platinum. If you can. I mean, most people are living fucking check to mouth nowadays. I know that feeling. So what time is it over in your end of the country? What, 8 o'clock? Or no, 7 o'clock. Yeah, you should be, what, 7 o'clock? Yeah, 7 o'clock. Your central time. Yeah, Bobcats. They use a lot of hydraulics, especially when they change. I like those new grinding wheels they put on Bobcats to clear brush from the lower end. Not really, it doesn't get up in the trees, but it like totally mulches the ground, like 2 to 3 inches of the ground as you roll over it. Of course, it does shoot shit out every now and then, so you got to watch for impalement of others. That's why I think they have those little chains hanging down in front to prevent things from getting shot out. What's the they've come up with this machine. It's it's been out for a while. It's actually expensive, $750,000 to like 1.5 million, depending on the machine that you get. It lathes out metal parts. It's basically a metal 3D printer. I actually contacted the company. They you can make anything that you got their CAD for, and then you put the piece of aluminum or steel or whatever in there. This machine goes in there and lathes it all out, drills everything according to the program. But it's like I said, man, the cheapest one they had was $750,000. So there's got to be a good amount of money in that business. What do you know about? Well, I guess you wouldn't know anything about refineries then, by any chance. I mean, valves. They use lots of valves. Not for hydraulics, I imagine. The Interpump Group. Okay, well, your company probably does deal with a couple of refineries. We have two out of 5 of the refineries out here have stopped making gas and they're changing over to biodiesel and building a whole new plant. And Phillips 66, instead of getting power from Pacific Gas and Electric, which is the local power company, they have the project coming up. Ironworkers are going to be doing a lot of solar panels. They're going to be putting up enough solar panels to run a biodiesel plant here in Northern California in the Bay Area. That's how many solar panels they're going to be putting up. They're going to run their whole plant off of solar panels, and the plant makes biodiesel. And that gives you a little, yeah, wow, indeed. They're getting off grid and starting biodiesel. What runs off biodiesel? Obviously, something's coming out that will run off biodiesel because 2 of 5 refineries are switching over to produce biodiesel. And like I said, Phillips 66 is one of them that's going off grid because they're going to have so many damn solar power panels. They're going to power themselves. You know, now if you have any impulse, they're fucked. But I'm sure they have some sort of generator backup. Hey, what's up, John? The bulldozer. Here, I'm going to change up so I can see here. Watch out, King Cats. There, that's better for me. I know the background. Mickey doesn't like the background, this part right here. But I ran out of white paint, so, and then I got, well, it doesn't bother me, so I never got back to it. But one day I'll get another gallon of white paint and I'll cover that up. I'm actually talking to a friend of mine in Southern Alabama about doing, hey, Harry, about doing, this is, and I don't care if you guys find out. If you can do it, great, more power to you. Yes, they have. I like the one video Ninja did where he said, Neil knows about platinum, and I wished I'd have listened to him a lot sooner. Did you watch that one? That was me he was talking about. But anyhow, I got this idea of, there's a stuff called fergatite. It's lightning crystal. How they get it now is they stick rebar in the ground down in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and Perdido Key in Northwest Florida, and lightning hits it. And then they take shovels and they go dig up, and the pressure of the shovel from the soil, the rod, lightning rods here, goes in the ground, and they take a shovel to dig it up. And in the pressure of lifting up the sand, they break the formaggitite, and the largest pieces they're ending up with is like about 4 inches, and they sell for $250. I got a double idea. I'm gonna have it here, hopefully in the next 5 or 6 months. It might be an add-on to my channel or like a side thing to my channel where I'll be slow-mo video showing lightning strikes that I capture, because I know how to draw lightning to certain areas. Same way those guys do it at Pensacola Beach. Of course, no one's around because lightning's kind of freaky, but I'm going to have GoPro cameras. A friend of mine's got 20 acres on the top of the first hill off of the Gulf of Mexico in Alabama, just north of I-10. It's like 180 foot. He owns the top of it. So I'm going to make these boxes, 4 foot by 4 foot boxes, elevate them 3 foot off the ground with a lightning rod underneath it and about 8 foot lightning rod on top. So the lightning travels through the box. It has no way to expand out. It's just shooting right through like a breaker box, to where I should get some very, very large pieces, tens of thousands of dollars worth of fergatite or figerite or whatever it's called, lightning crystal. And I will be having video because I'm going to set up GoPro cameras, and I'm going to try and get it. And I'm looking into right now a camera and how to set it to where you're aiming upwards in rain and still get a good shot, get a clearer shot of it, because I want to try and get a picture of lightning coming down with you viewing it as it's coming down to hit my lightning rods on my lightning crystal boxes, along with a side view. So basically I'll have a side view of the lightning coming down and an upward view. And I'm going to give that a try. I've been talking with my friend Steve. He's real excited about it. He wants to start building the box himself. So I got to kind of get back to work, make some money, fly down the Pensacola, Mobile area, and build a couple lightning boxes, set up the GoPros, and hopefully the YouTube channel will make money, and selling the lightning crystal or figertite or fragtite will also make money. Yeah, it is a cool idea. I mentioned it on Financial Prepper to Chris Taylor, and He made the mistake of telling me he didn't think it could be done because he didn't know that anyone could direct lightning like Alexander Bell with his kite and his key on the string. Well, I know how to draw lightning, and I know how to set up cameras, and I know it's profitable. The only thing is you can't do it in. I mean, Southern Alabama's got Northwest Florida's got the most lightning strikes in the nation, for one. That Escambia County, Baldwin County, the two areas where I'm going to be at, has the most lightning strikes in the nation. So it's not like you can do it anywhere. But yeah, no, actually, the problem we're having, John, is I'm getting the lightning rod to fall after it gets struck, but I'm kind of mixed on that because if lightning strikes 2 or 3 times, there's more fragotite in there. It's no big deal, and I get more video. So a friend of mine who's got the land is trying to come up with a way that we could set up a piece of like 8-foot rebar on top of the box to where after it gets struck, it'll like fall off to the side or something. I'm not too concerned about that. I wouldn't mind it getting struck a couple times because I think the YouTube videos that I'll get off of it, especially if you slow-mo lightning strikes, or like if I have 3 boxes set up, maybe 30 foot apart, and the lightning like jumps to all 3 of them or something like that, some cool stuff. I bet you I could get 1 million hits on YouTube. And I'm only going to do it when it's not raining. I'm not going to do it in the storms because it is the nation's largest lightning strike area. And lightning travels 15 miles sideways. So it could be a clear day and still get struck by lightning. So you got to watch the forecast for about 30 miles away. So Harry S., what kind of work do you do? I know John's retired, and Kevin is a warehouse supervisor, and I'm an iron worker, union iron worker out here in California. John Bethy, did you retire from the military, or were you just in back in the 60s and 70s, and then you had a career that you retired from? That I don't know. So if you'd like to answer, you don't have to answer. If you'd like to answer, I'd appreciate that. You like Bill Murray in that one movie when he hit a hole in one, or no, it was the preacher hit the hole in one at the end of the movie, got struck by lightning. Right on, Jim. I'm actually trying to get a hold of a veterans advocate. I've got a number for one. I think it's right here. Yeah. It's backwards for y'all, but it's a veterans advocacy group because it took 23 years for me to get my VA benefits, and I have the bare minimum. And I served in a war. I know I deserve more than that, so I'm going to get them to look into it. Damn. So I don't need to stand next to you near in a lightning storm, John. You're like electric. Call you Sparky. It's cool for you people that don't know. Lightning doesn't come from the ground, from the sky. It comes from the ground. It initiates from the ground with negative ions coming out of the ground. And that's why you have a lightning rod. And the positive ions are in the clouds, and they hook up with the oh, wow. I think I've only got like 5%. And they barely cover anything. It's like the only thing I get glasses. I get 1 physical a year. And emergency room visits are covered 100%. That's all I got. Yeah, so I know I'm getting fucked. Man, I feel like ninja. Someone just said squirrel. Yeah, Kevin, out here, hey, you guys can diagnose me. What the hell? They did. They diagnosed me with COPD without tests. I can still run. I have never complained about breathing anything. Sweet. Be like fucking he who cannot be named. What was that? Harry Potter? Voldemort. Voldemort, whatever. But yeah, back to the lightning crystal idea. That's what I'm hoping to retire on, is that doing the videos of lightning and selling faggotite, because I also have a catamaran design I need. Uh, but another friend of mine down there is big into that CAD program, and this intelligent computer crap. And I just saw a couple intelligent computer drawings. It took like 3 seconds for them to diagram out this house. I was like, damn. So I'm going to get my friend Rodney. I'm going to tell him about my catamaran design and see if I can't get him to have his little intelligent computer thing whip up a fucking design for me, so I can get that idea out there. Because again, they're building catamarans, solar powered catamarans, solar powered. There's no mast, there's no rigging, and they are still building solar powered catamarans in the same design as if it had a mast and rigging. And everyone's still complaining about not having enough space. I'm like, wow, you people, man, you just need to think, man. Put some thought into it. So I put some thought into it, and that'll be also a project I need to work on. But Mobile, Alabama is actually good for boat building, so I might have a lot to do down there in the southern Alabama area when I go down there. I can officially early retire tomorrow. I get half my retirement. That's not enough. So I'll be staying working for a little while until one of my ideas pays off. So what military service were you in, Jim? Well, shit, John, if you're at 240%, could I have 100% of that? You'll still be over 100%. You'll have 140. Oh, right on. So you were a lifer. My brother did that. He stayed in for 22 years. I couldn't handle it. I did 2. Actually, I didn't even do 2 because Congress breached my GI Bill, and they said either you resign or you get out in an honorable. I was like, psh. I met Reagan. I was in 8th grade. He came to Pensacola, Florida. I was going to a Lutheran school, a private school, and of course, being a private school, they closed the school down, took all the kids out there to Pensacola Airport because Reagan was going to come by, and he was running. He wasn't president. He was running. So I think it was 1980, 1979, somewhere like that. And I got a couple of Secret Service guys in trouble because I was able to slip by them at the airport from behind the barricade. I was able to slip through a crack in their walking defense of the candidate for presidency, President Ronald Reagan. And I stood right in front of him, shook his hand. And the funniest thing, as I was shaking his hand, I got lifted up. He released my hand. I got put back over the barricade. I turned around. He is walking by, and the same guy who picked me up handed me a picture with Reagan's signature on it. True story. No, you can keep the problems, bro. I got my own problems. I've got my own problems, bro. I do heavy isometrics and stretching to keep myself walking. I don't know if too many people who can get banged up and still hold it together while getting screwed over by the government or screwed out of VA. It's amazing that you got to prove it. And I had 91 correspondence courses going for my my RN? It's 91 Charlie. Back then it was, I don't know what the fuck they are now. And they don't have none of that listed. My DD 214 is like half a page, half of 1 page. Yeah, I got a long fight. But I have an advocate fighting. I'll let him do it. Give it a try. See if I can get some more percentages. Get a percentage. I think, like I said, 5%. But it is what it is. Yeah, well, they succeeded out here. West Coast VA sucks. Wee. They do not have any doctors there that don't want to put you on a medication that you are on until you die, which means they expect you to be dying soon, and they're going to give you the medication to make sure that you do. I told them, get screwed. Like I said, they gave me COPD on the files. I ain't never bitched about COPD. I know what it is, but I don't know what the symptoms are. So I don't know how the fuck it got in my official VA records. Because when I went to a doctor, because that doctor retired, and I go to this new lady doctor, and the first thing she says is, "Oh, hey, Neil, how's your COPD? Here, take this test for rectal cancer." I'm like, first off, who the fuck said I had COPD? And why would I need to check my cancer? I don't have cancer. You can feel if you're feeling sick. I don't have cancer. But she was like pushing all this death crap on me. I like threw it down. I said, check this out. Bye. And I ain't never gone back. Yeah, wheezing when is that okay? When have I done that on live TV that anyone's here to be able to say that I have COPD? I'm sure there's some sort of test they give you to figure out if you've got COPD. And I was never given a test, never complained about it, and it just appeared in my records that I have COPD. My permanent fucking records. How do you get rid of that? They're fraudulent out here. The VA out here is very, very fraudulent. But I guess that's why everyone's here, because we all know it and we're all like-minded. So did any of you guys happen to buy any platinum while it was down to 900? It'll drop down again. It will go up to about 1600, but it will drop down again. And one of the main reasons that no one saw coming, and this is why I don't believe in charts. Charts are bullshit. They don't tell you the whole picture. And Rick Rule got caught with his pants down because he's reading charts. And last year when I brought this up to him, it was on Liberty and Finance. And I brought it up to him because he was taking a lot of questions. And he said, platinum's going nowhere. It's got no future, whatever. He didn't realize that South Africa's power plants are going to die because they're old and they haven't been worked on. And their power that they use is coal to power the power plant. And he didn't see the future forecast of America stopping producing coal, which stops 20% of the production of coal on the planet. And he didn't see China consuming 50%, so they're 70%. So all the other countries are screwed if they got a lot of money to throw at their energy. And South Africa is not one of those countries. I saw this coming. That's why every now and then I do geopolitical stuff. I really thought there was going to be an issue with Egypt and Ethiopia last November. But Egypt puked out and said, no, we don't want to fight them because we know they'll kick our butts. But now Sudan, you have Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia. Sudan is now a hot spot, so Ethiopia might still get attacked, and the Gerd River Dam might still get blown up if crap happens there in Sudan too much. I'm going to dig into that more because I was really on top of that information till after Egypt didn't attack. Even though they said they were by November of last year, they stated it themselves. I didn't bring you fraudulent news. I brought you what they said. And they said, hey, probably by November we're going to attack them. And then they never did. Oh, sweet, Jim. Excellent. Dude, you got a freaking good price then. You got anything under $1,000 for platinum's a great price, man. What I suggest doing is hold on to that platinum until you can trade it 1-to-1 for gold, or until it goes up enough, because every $100 that it goes up, that's 4 pieces of silver. So every $100 and gold's not going up, so you can't even do the same exchange from gold to silver because gold hasn't gone up 100, 200 bucks. But you can do that for platinum, and you can exchange platinum for silver because the platinum silver ratio is pretty damn good too. I mean, it's getting wider, especially with platinum jumping up 200 bucks. That's like 1,000% of what silver's price is, and it just jumped that. So if you exchange platinum for silver now, I don't know. Let's see. Like when it was $1,000, you get $25. You could got 40 ounces of silver, and now you can get 48 for that same ounce. You get 8 more ounces of silver. And if you hold on to, and the price of silver is not going to jump too much. And this is where a big play is on platinum. And yeah, it is volatile. It is volatile. It drops, it goes up, it goes down. But the charts over this whole history of platinum do not include the power plant that powers the mines that manufacture and pull the platinum out of the ground, closing down production of power, thus making the mines already state they're going to reduce production by 15%, while the international world said they're going to increase need by 20 to 25% of platinum. So there's a 40% right there spread. So I easily see platinum going up to 1,500 this year. Not a problem. But that's not no chart telling me that. That was freaking, what the hell it was? It was an Impala platinum miner. Put out a letter to the shareholders saying they're going to have reduced earnings because they're going to have to shut the mine down certain days when they don't have power to mine because South Africa's power source is dying. Charts never said that last year. The charts never said that. It doesn't feel any different. It's a better play, in my personal opinion. Platinum is a better play than gold. And the 1 ounce platinum coin you have, if you look at it, again, on the coin itself, it's got $100 value. You look at your 1 ounce gold coin, tell me how much it's valued at. Half that? What's up with that? Why is platinum twice the value, mint value, than gold? There's something behind everything. They don't do anything because they're stupid. And they don't do anything just because. They put that $100 value on platinum and that $50 value on gold. They say there's a 100-year cycle coming to an end. Well, shit, check it out for yourself. 100 years ago, platinum was $40 and gold was $20. I don't have no chart. I'm just putting things together that I see. They say, okay, so I trust. We're ending a 100-year economic cycle. Cool. Don't know what the hell that means, but everyone's saying it, so that's cool. All I do is I look back 100 years to see what happened back 100 years ago for the cycle when it started. Well, when that cycle, that 100-year cycle that's supposedly ending started, platinum was twice the price of gold. The 50-year cycle, they say, is ending. Well, you look back 50 years ago, give or take a year or two, we got off the gold standard. And it was told to us that it would be temporary. 50 years for a government that expects to be around for several hundred years is temporary. So I make a logical prediction, seeing that all the states are doing all this lawmaking with no taxing gold and silver, making gold and silver legal tender, blah 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 blah, and all these countries buying gold and silver. I can only assume that we're going to go back on a gold standard. It's a 50-year cycle. It's ending. 50 years ago, we got off the gold standard. These are just, what I would call simple logical deductions to be made. Then research. But that's why I say platinum is such a good play. You are doing real good right now because one thing I was looking to explain to people, if they bought it when it was like at 900 and you paid like $100 premium, it actually cost you $1,000. You can still sell it right now and you have made 12-13% profit. You, my friend, will have made about 18% profit, including premium price. Because people, and that's why you're not supposed to buy and sell the metals willy-nilly, because the premium fucking kill your profit margin. An example is the American Eagle. It's like the premium drives it up to 45, like spot price is 25. You're going to wait a while before you can sell that son of a bitch and make a profit. So you don't buy an American Eagle for profit margin. There's another reason why you buy it. People believe that it'll be legal tender because it's the Royal Mint of America. Platinum's used for a lot. Actually, the Cummins diesel engine quit producing their world famous engine. No one's talking about it. At least not that I've heard. They're going 100% into hybrid diesel engines, and it's going to be hydrogen diesel hybrid engine is what they're making, and that is part of the reason why platinum is going to be, the need for platinum is going to increase by 25%. And if you watch some of my last year's videos, I did a video on it. So I've seen this coming. I've seen all this coming. Charts never said anything about the increased need of platinum because of technology changes and major corporations. Charts don't add that stuff in. And that's why I'm not big on charts. I mean, yeah, you can live by them, go by them, and you're going to die by them. Because, those big green candles go up, but then you get a red one. The only people that seem to do good in the stock play is Nancy Pelosi. She's either real good or she knows something we don't. And she probably knew about platinum as well. So, Jim, how's the platinum, in your opinion, feel compared to silver or gold in your hands? Do you like the feel of it? Feel any different? I personally like the sound of silver over the rest of the metals. It's just got a unique cling to it. And another thing about that Alabama, my friend's going to get rent a bulldozer. Bulldozer. No, I do not. A friend's got a bulldozer. He wants to sift through his soil on his property and see if we can't find some of that Angel's gold, the real small flaky shit. Yeah, Jim. I hear Nancy's husband's turned homosexual. They have gay guys beating him with a hammer inside while they're playing the dildos. No offense to gay people. I'm just, that's how I talk. That's how I talk. I don't intend to offend, but I don't care if I do. Because everyone has a right to speak, and I'm not changing my life to make someone feel good. I'm not changing the way I speak. I just won't hang around you. You don't hang around me if you don't like the way I speak. It's better for everyone. What I used to say in the 70s as a kid is, hey, the great thing about America, if you don't like the state that you live in, there's 50 states. All of them have individual laws. Find a state that's applicable with your belief system and move there. You'll be happy. And then in the 80s and 90s, it was like, where'd that America go to? John, no thank you. Just because Obama made it legal doesn't mean I have to. I've been looking at houses down in northwest Georgia, northwest Georgia and southern Alabama compared to out here. And speaking of houses out here, there's 4 houses down across the street. It's got a view of Mirror Island, the Napa River into the bay. Lady 4 months ago, they said she asked $900. I didn't see that. That I know of, she asked $750,000. She just sold it last week for $450,000. She knocked $300,000 off the price. And even though, and then that got me thinking, $450,000. Then I look at the house, man, it's small. It's small. It's real small. Hey, Mickey. And then I started looking in southern Alabama and seeing what you can get for $200,000. And for $200,000, I can get a 4-bedroom, 2-bath on 2 acres house. And out here, I can't even get an 1/8 of an acre and a 3-bedroom house for $450,000. So I'm not staying out here. What kind of work do you do, Mickey? And talk to John. He wants to marry me off to fucking Pelosi's husband. Are you getting a dowry, John? Yeah, no shit. No shit. Yeah, no, actually, I was looking at that. There's another house across the street, more directly across the street. The starting asking price was $518. I think she'll probably end up selling it for about $475. A lot better condition as far as the house itself than the other house, but still. Yeah, I heard that. I get bored when I have a couple of days off work in between jobs. Like right now, this whole week goes off. I was like, West Covina. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. And for 200,000, I mean, and the house I was looking at was brick. You know, it's not something that the fucking wolf can blow down. It was the house that the piggy built out of brick, and it had 2 acres. I mean, you could plant a lot of trees out there. You can grow oranges down there too. Yeah, I was looking around Lookout Mountain, Georgia, Northwest Georgia. Their average price was 500,000. So, what do you guys think about that lightning crystal idea? Do you think it's a good idea with the YouTube video? Give me some feedback on that. Those of you that were here that heard the story. Hey, what's up, Christopher? Christopher's in Colorado. Don't get many lightning storms there. Get snow and tornadoes on the East Coast, East side. Yeah, that's what I was. And the fact that Chris told me he didn't think it could be done, that was highly motivating. But now I'm at the point where I need to find other people's points of views to go with it. So, Christopher Bick, what kind of work are you into? Let's see, you can't see my eyes. You can't see my eyes. But I gotta read this. Yeah, but if you're coming from California, ain't nothing expensive in America. How much is the gas, John, in South Carolina? Like $3 a gallon, $2.75 a gallon. Oh, Christopher, I have a new design for catamaran. I'm looking for some, actually a naval architect or engineer to help me get the drawings worked out on it to make it a more feasible buildable boat. If you're interested, get in touch with me. I'll give out percentages. It's a pretty kick-ass idea. Yeah, I know, Mickey. I already mentioned about this. I'm gonna get some white paint and paint it in the next month, 2 months, or 3 months, or maybe 4 months, 5 months, or 6 months, or something like that. You guys be nice. You be nice. Yeah, you can see him. This guy is that guy's brother. That's Harley and Gandalf. Gandalf was sleeping, and Harley's coming up there to be a dick. Don't be a dick, Harley. This is how I get rid of him. Where are my keys? Where are my keys? This will get. Watch the bed. Watch that guy. Ah, shit. He ran under the bed. That's all I do. Shake my keys like that. Gandalf's there. Thanks, Dad. See, he's right there. He's like, thanks for getting rid of me, Dad. I was being peaceful here, lying around. Yeah, yeah. I actually, good call, Chris. Everyone here is from Liberty and Finance. A few from Economic Ninja. Actually, the majority. Dude, I so love platinum. I want to get a hold of Impala or Americana Platinum. Those are the two top platinum miners in South Africa, and pick up a sponsorship, get some of their videos, show what's going on. I'd love to do that kind of stuff, and I'm just trying to build up my channel a little bit more because this right here won't work for a more official channel on platinum. So, but yeah, I'd love to get more information on platinum out to more people and get backed by the people who make the platinum by mining it. That would be awesome. Come out to California. I'm sure it is. They make everything new. Go to San Francisco. I'm sure you'll find yourself a pastor. They do anything out there. Just give them the money. Yeah, it would be, Mickey. And like I said, I'm hoping to get a little more sophisticated in my presentation, which means I need to buy some crap. And for that, I need to quit investing in my investments so I can buy the crap, which is another investment. But anyhow, I got my hands full right now with other stuff. Money's flying out. I make it, it's going out. Like, I got to take my dog in next week, have him looked at. It probably costs $1,000. And then I got to come to a decision based off of what's said, what to do, and it could cost another $1,000. So, there goes the green screen. And I still got to pay $8,000 on the patent. And I got to fly down to Mobile and build a couple lightning crystal boxes. Yeah, I just chip away at the stone, baby. Chip away at the stone. Just like a friend of mine. Dude, if you start lying in here, I'll kick you out. You better tell the truth. The way to get anything done is to start. It might take years, it might take months, but it ain't going to get done if you don't do it. Slowly but surely, I'm getting everything going. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have it all, not all, but at least 2 projects out of the way, maybe 3. Enough so where I can maybe move to Alabama, get a house down there. That would be badass. I'm looking at those houses. Thing is, I've never owned my own house, so I don't have like furniture and shit. That's actually my only piece of furniture, that and the bed. And I'm looking at this 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, 2-story in brick on 2 acres. I'm like, what the fuck would I put in there? But I guess I'll fill it up with something. Of course, I have to buy the house first. And I'm not looking to do that just yet. Because, I want to get it for half price. They're asking 200 now. I want to get it for 125. How do I put up at the top right corner where it's got your picture, that little picture there? Boom. By your name right there. And you click on it. I don't want to do it on a live stream. Sorry. But you click on it and you go to your home page and you can change your picture and your name. And what I did is I used the name I was using as my channel name because I'm not that computer savvy. But you can when you do that process, you can use it. You can put in another name for your channel name that's separate from the name Mickey, and do it that way. But you also can like have more than one channel, but you have to have more than one email and all this other stuff. And I'm not that good at that. Right on, John. Once I get down to Alabama, probably be early next year. I'll come see you. What's your channel going to be on? About precious metals? You know, there's more platinum on the moon than on the earth. Boomer days. Right on. I'll subscribe. And yes, I'm going to get my teeth fixed later this year. I don't like seeing that when I smile, but I always smile big. You know, I smile like this. I don't smile. I don't even know how to smile. And it bothers me, so I am going to get them fixed for those people who are concerned or not concerned, said something or haven't said something. Great thing about me is I don't give a shit about what people think about me, as you can tell, because I make me happy. I mean, you guys are great, and I appreciate you very, very, very much. But you know, you guys make you happy. I don't make you happy, and you know, no one else makes me happy. The way I make me happy, and I'm happy with my critters, like that little guy right there. Yeah. Because it's a very small market. There's 3,300 tons of gold produced each year, and there's only 170 tons of platinum produced. That'll give you it's about 30 times more rare, and not everybody has it. And typically, the Russians for about 200 years did use it for money, but it's actually undervalued. It's way undervalued. It is 30 times more rare than gold. What's gold's use cases? Yeah, a little bit here, a little bit there. You can replace with silver or copper. Okay. Well, if platinum is 30 times more rare, then it should be, if gold's at 2,000, it should be at 60,000. In which case it would be used as a monetary metal for higher end exchanges of country to country exchanges, or bank to bank, or corporation to corporation. But the powers that be, the Austrian Economic Theory Group, who are in control right now, yeah, they're in control. But I can easily see a use case for platinum if it's priced according to its out of the ground to gold ratio, which is 30 ounces of gold are pulled out in 1 ounce of platinum. So it should be at least 30 times the price of gold. But it's not, for some reason. Even though 100 years ago it was twice the price of gold, for some reason, because of catalytic converters, it's not as needed. So the price fell. Yeah, you know, I've not been given an explanation for why platinum has gone lower than gold. They say, oh, it's using catalytic converters. So what? So what? It's pulled out of the ground 30 times less than gold. And you guys are always talking about the silver being pulled out of the ground 7-1 for gold, so the ratio should be 7-1. Indeed, the ratio should be. And the ratio of platinum to gold should be 30 gold for 1 platinum, because that's how it's pulled out of the ground. And quite frankly, the use case of platinum is going through the roof. Through the roof. Like I said, there's more platinum on the moon. Another reason to start looking at whatever company will be into space mining, because there's going to be a refinery on the moon, because you're going to need a chevron for rocket ships to refuel, or whatever the name will be. So they're going to have to manufacture rocket fuel. And if you're going to manufacture rocket fuel, which they have found H3, hydrogen 3 on the moon, so you can manufacture rocket fuel on the moon, you can also grab yourself some platinum and make a profit. And if you're going to do that, you might as well start a refinery. And if you're going to do that, you might as well take the asteroids in and refine them and make sure they're pure of all the cosmic whatever, so you don't affect the Earth before you pull it back down. I see that within 50 years. But the company that's going to start doing that is going to form in the next 10 years or 5 years. And they're going to be the big one in 20 years, 30 years. Hey, AG47. Thanks, John, because I was kind of concerned with the way you were trying to marry me off to Pelosi's husband. Dude, I wish you would have bought, man. Like I said, I don't look at the charts. And Rick Rule's a smart dude. I'm not saying he's a smart dude. I just look at things differently. And I realize that charts are wrong some of the time. When do you know they're wrong? When you do your research. Then you can say, ooh, charts don't show this, and this is going to happen because of this. And that's why every now and then I do a geopolitical channel, and you're all like, why is he throwing up shit about Ethiopia? Why is he throwing shit up about, this, that, or the other? It's some stupid stuff. It's not stupid. In reality, it's like a linchpin. When I talk about Ethiopia, hold on, let me catch up on the chats here. Platinum, yeah, scrubbers, yeah. Platinum is used to make 3M spray glue, believe it or not. You mean platinum? I would love to see silver at 900 per ounce. That'd sell my shit quick. Cancer treatments and cancer treatment, the drugs, yes. It's also used to make the chemical Vidine. They got to run the chemical Vidine through a platinum screen used as a conductor to change its molecular structure so it can be aerosoled. And then they add glue to it. And that's how they come up with 3M spray glue. Because I actually built the refinery that makes the 3M spray glue back in 89, I think it was. I was a Monsanto chemical plant. I was a pipe fitter helper back then. And they were building a new part of the plant to make the Vidine chemicals so that the 3M company could use it to make spray glue. And that's how they aerosoled the glue. Platinum. Yeah, so many people underestimate the use of platinum. It's so undersold, its value and importance to the new future technologies that are going to be used. Platinum is essential. Essential. Thank you, Mickey. I actually, I'm smarter than other people because I've never trusted other people to tell me the truth since I was a little kid. It got me kicked out of every school I ever went to. I got kicked out of 2nd grade. I got kicked out of 5th grade. I got kicked out of 6th grade. I almost got kicked out of 7th grade, and I got kicked out of 10th grade. The only reason I didn't get kicked out of 7th grade is it was a private school my parents were paying, so they decided to keep the money. Or else I'd get kicked out of that school too. And the reason why I got kicked out is because I thought everyone was stupid trying to tell me how to think and not answer my questions when I did think, and then punishing me for thinking. And I just thought that was rude. I didn't care if the teacher was older than me or not. So I didn't do well in schools. So I get my own information. I research my own information. I ask my own questions, and I get them answered. I I called this company right here because they got like several colors of these cigarettes, American Spirits. I said, is it true that your turquoise brand American Spirits, you don't use pesticides or herbicides on? And he said, yes, that is the only brand that we do not use it on. And that's why I only smoke this brand of cigarette. It's like an American Indians. Roll your own, but they rolled it for me. That's probably why I don't have COPD, because I'm not smoking those chemicals. Another reason why I grow my own weed, because I don't know what someone else is. You go to the shop, you smell it, you're like, oh, that smells good. Yeah. Is it Miracle Grow? Or was it that chemical they use to make it turn purple that you're smoking? I'm not smoking that shit. So I never fell. I made my own path downhill. I didn't follow anyone else. Now, Mr. Brazilla, what if they repriced it? Because I've heard stories last year when I was doing more of my geopolitical stuff before Mom passed away, and I was hearing whispers of China wanting to revalue gold to $68,000 an ounce, and I heard other countries backing that play, and no one has talked about that when everyone's saying, "Oh, this country's buying astronomical amounts of gold. This country's buying astronomical amounts of gold." Could they be repricing it soon? Because if they reprice it to 86,000 and they do a 15 to 1, that puts silver at about 3,500. But I'm not. My crystal ball fell and broke. My cat's knocked it off the shelf. Yes, they are. That Christopher. They're actually $13 back out here because they like adding extra taxes so they can go on their Hawaii vacations. Got to keep Newsom in his fine wines. Yeah, platinum is a very essential metal. And more people do need to be talking about it. And I seriously wish a lot more people would have bought it when I started telling them. Because like Chris Taylor says, you got to be happy for other people. Dude, I don't own a gram. No, I do own a gram of platinum, 1 gram. I had to sell the rest of it because I'm poor. But I don't give a shit. I hope I was able to talk others into buying it so that you can profit off of it. Because I see the play. I don't have to be able to take advantage of the play to tell people I see the play. I get laughed at and ridiculed for saying, hey, this play is going to happen. But eventually it happens and people are like, wow, hey, cool. He knew. I don't care. I'm going to get my rewards doing my thing. Like my lightning crystal, my YouTube channel, or my catamaran design, or my housing design. I've got a housing design made from structural steel where you could build in a rocky area. It doesn't have to be flat. All these houses nowadays, they've got you thinking. They've trained you to think. When you build a house, you have to have a flat lot to build on. No, you don't. I mean, you might not be able to drive to get there, but I can build you a house on a rocky outcrop. You stick one column, one column, one column, and then get up to a level. Shoot your laser across, put in your beams. All your floors are level and you're on top of a rocky mass. Now, how you're going to get to the house, it's another story. But they can be built. Learn to grow your own and look at fungi networks. Look at the ground and the health of the ground. Because everyone puts so much on the light. And that's only 1/3 of it. You have light, you have water, and then you have the other half. And that's the ground, and everything's in the ground. If your ground's dead, you're not going to get that good stuff going on. So you need to increase the life that's in the soil to get good, non-chemically grown marijuana, in my opinion. Yeah, I actually came up with my own seed. I got some right here, about 15 of them. I had bought some seeds. If you know anything about seeds, they've got F1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are generations. And the manufacturer, the producer of the seed, when they sell you feminine seeds, is supposed to take them to the F5, which means you breed them 5 times, guaranteeing it's the same plant with the same look or whatever that you wanted, coming up over 5 generations of the plant. And then they female that, seed it, and then they can sell those, and it'll be a structured plant, growth rate, everything else, color, everything. I bought these seeds from this prominent place up in Humboldt County, and I think they're like F2 seeds, because I grew like 3 of them, and 2 of them looked the same, and one of them looked totally different, but they were all the same. So one of those turned, I stressed it out, a limb, and made it turn male, and it pollinated all 3 of them. And all those seeds are feminized seeds now, and that's what I got. But it was a blueberry muffin strain. It wasn't blueberry muffin at all, but it was a strain of the blueberry muffin, probably part of the mother and part of the father. I don't know. Yeah, the strain was blueberry muffin, is what they sold me. But like I said, when you get if you get like an F2 or F3 seed that's not guaranteed to produce the same thing, you can get heavier parts of the mother strain or the father strain. And I think it's like blueberry has like skunk X and something else in it. So that one of those plants had a stronger part of the father's lineage in it genetically. And that's the one I used to pollinate itself and its sister plant. It's good stuff, but I don't know exactly what it is. But it was sold to me as blueberry muffin, but it wasn't. Yeah, I'm actually going to clones this year. I got 2 of my seeds out there, but that's all I got. I mean, it's all blueberry muffin. I got 2 of these. This one, another one. Another one's full. And I'm tired of smoking the same shit. So I'm gonna get some. I'm getting some clones of several different strains this year. And I discovered how to make it stay. Actually, the stuff in those jars is fresher. And I just pulled this stuff out yesterday. And I have my little masher smasher crusher here, and this stuff's already like dried out. That stuff there has been in there for half a year, still fresh and moist. Not moist enough to cause mildew, but it's still got a smell and everything. But as soon as you take it out and let it sit, it's a little dry fast. But I don't care. It makes it easier to mash up. No, I do not make my own hash. I don't waste my time with any of that stuff. I just let it grow and then take it off, dry it, cure it, smoke it. Prototype. Yeah, it does, and that's why my shit's staying good in those jars. Those jars are hermetically sealed. They've got a little thing you can hear the air kind of push out as the top. The top is a steel, stainless steel is a little heavier, and you could hear I can hear the air push out, and it's like an airtight seal. So as long as you don't stick it in there when it's too moist, to where it'll grow mold, if you got it at the right humidity level before you stick it in for curing, you can keep it for a year, and it's actually better at the end. But the only thing is, I'm smoking the same freaking strain for 12 months, and it sucks. Although I don't make this, but this is a byproduct of drying the weed. Is all the little hairs that come off. If you gather them up, if you like stick a piece of plastic underneath where you're drying your marijuana, it's called keef. You can't actually see it real well, and I apologize for it's just the hairs the hairs that fall off the bud, they'll land on that plastic, and you just gather it all up and you add it back. It's the best part of the plant, supposedly. It's called keef, but it's not hash. I do that. Yeah, I actually, that little masher, smasher, crusher, I have my weed in here, and I add some of that powder in there, shake it up, and then I dump this in my hand, pack it in the bowl. And the one thing I like about these, yeah, that's right, there's enough for 2 bowls in here. So if I like go out, I don't have to take anything with me. This right here cleans it, pokes the holes through, and pachingo. I have weed in here, ready to smoke in here. No joints to be broken. And if you want to stop the smokes from coming out of here, you just close this top and it kills it. No oxygen, it goes out. WWE fan, right on. But yeah, there's a now back to Mickey. You're growing. Look at Azospirillum and Micros. Get those from like Amazon, or you might have some at your local plant store. It's a fungi network, or adds to the fungi network. And what it does is, when you plant your plant in the ground, you stick some Azospirillum and Micros. If it gets within a quarter inch of the root system, it attaches to the root system. The root system doesn't have to go to another plant. But if there's a symbiotic plant out there with that plant, the Micros and the Azospirillum join in with the fungi network under the soil, and they hook up with other plants that are symbiotic with the cannabis plant, which tomatoes are and canis lilies are. And I plant those two side by side with marijuana plants, and I use this fungi network through the Azospirillum and Micros, and they share resources because each plant pulls different things out of the oxygen that we breathe out of the air. Some plants pull more whatever, some plants pull more nitrogen or whatever. And they share all those resources. Some plants have more water. So they share all those resources. So the Azospirillum and the Micros cause this fungi network. It's like a farmer's market for symbiotic plants to share resources, to where you don't have to water as much. You don't have to do any kind of fertilizing or pesticide care or any of that stuff. Because if it's done properly, if your soil is good, your plant is good. But that's just from 20 years of doing it. Another thing you want to do before you grow is dig your hole about a foot and a half deep, and get a fish, cut it up, throw it down there, cover it back up, grow on that spot 6 months to a year later. That'll help the microbes and everything get going in the soil. Sardines, yes, in water, not in oil. And sardines, there's exactly what I use, because Grocery Outlet sells a box of them for $1. And I'll go out there, open it up, and 6 months later I'll plant on top of it, adding Azospirillum and Micros, because the dead fish help with the fungi network. They increase more of the fungi network that's going on to feed it more than they'll feed your plant. But the fungi network will feed your plant. So it's a win-win. I like seeing ladybugs, and actually I've bought ladybugs in jars, big glasses, set them down and then crawl out, and that takes care of a lot of the problems. I don't have a problem with my cats messing with my plants. I am the alpha and omega around here. They don't mess with my plants. But yeah, I've got 2 in the ground, and I'm not too concerned about any others, because I'm going to, in June, I'm going to buy some clones. And clones are genetically geared for a 3-month growing cycle. But if you throw them outside around June, they get 2 months of growth under the regular sun if you don't lose them from the acclimation, different from the false light to the sunlight. They'll do their 2 months of growing, and they'll go into budding, and you can keep them alive longer, and the buds will still be real good and big. And, and you can get 4 or 5 months grow out of them and get decent stuff if you got good soil and it's in a decent light area. But that's that. Now back to platinum. No, that's not what it is. They are nice because animals portray the owner's attitude, their real attitude. So when you go to someone's house, if their dog's like fanatically, something's up with that person. If you go over to someone's house and they got a dog or a cat and it's always mad, something's wrong with the person, because they'll emulate your real energy. And that's why my cats are so calm, because I've been shot at, and I'll look at the person, looked at the person and said, "You missed." I've had someone pull a gun on me two alleys over. It was a 9mm. It was a nice gun too. He was about 30 foot from me. I got him on video while I was talking with the cops, and I was taunting him because I know for a fact that a gangbanger whose fingers on a, oh my God, that's a whole nother story. Trigger squeeze means a lot. That's all I can say. And you can tell if a person's going to hit to your right or to your left by the way they're holding the weapon. That's pure physics. You don't have to be lucky. You don't have to be good. You don't have to be no John Wayne. You don't have to be anything. If you see a son of a gun holding a freaking gun and it's like that, they ain't going to hit you. They got to be within 10 foot to be lucky to hit you. Handguns are very, 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 very not accurate. The wielder of the handgun determines the accuracy. Bullets with short barrels, coming out of short barrels, tend to tumble. They don't roll. So I've seen weapons experts at 30 foot miss. Experts given medals by the government. Experts in weapons miss at 30 foot. So I wasn't scared. Here's another example. Where is it? Down this way, downtown Vallejo, 6 blocks, used to be, well, it's still there, but it doesn't. There's a basement of this building the guy rented out for private parties. It's like 13,000 square foot. Decent size for a private party. There was a group of youngsters rented the place out. There was 56 shots fired in this room. One person was hit in the ankle. In a closed room, 13,000 square foot, still 56 shots, one person got hit. That's what happens when you hold it like this. So, yes, Mr. Brozilla, it's your energy and vibrations, frequency, energy, and vibrations. And if you can get that, man, animals will just be like this little guy right here. Oh, no. That little guy there, that's Ginger. She decided to join him. And they'll be chill. My dogs, they see the few videos I've done, they're not anxious, jumpy. They're just chill because there ain't no reason not to be. Explain, please, when a gun is pulled out on me. I don't understand what you're saying. I've had several times in my life guns pulled on me. And depending on the scenario and circumstance and the feeling I'm getting and everything else, I act differently accordingly. I don't do the same thing every freaking time. No. It's circumstantial to the scene at the time and energy I'm getting. That's how I would not suggest anyone be a dick like me and antagonize someone with a weapon. It's not a good idea. I think it's fun. Yeah. I also used to run on it. And if you see one of my videos, I did a video 2 weeks ago it was on a 47 story in San Francisco. You see my boots right there at the edge. They're 300 foot down. No big deal. No big deal. I live by the motto of the Sutherlands, which is my mother's maiden name, Sutherland. They're Scottish Highlanders, and their motto is Sans Peur. Sans Peur means fear nothing. And I fear God. After that, I don't fear anything. If it's my time, it's my time. And I'm going to live every life to the fullest, and I'm going to enjoy myself. Oh, okay. It's a trigger squeeze. Trigger squeeze. See, if this is the first, the first bend, the first joint right here, and this is the tip. If anyone holds the trigger directly in the center, worry, they might be well trained. If they hold it to the joint, watch which way this goes from the joint. Is that straight back? No, it's not straight back. So if they're holding it at the joint, it's going to go to your right. It's going to go to your right. It's physics. That's all there is to it. And every time they pull, they'll adjust, but it's always going to go to the right. They'll aim at you, but the gun will go this when they pull the trigger. Bam, bam, bam. If they have it too much on this side, you see what happens. It's going to go to your left. If they have it directly in the middle, there's a damn good chance it's going to go straight. And that's the first thing you look for if someone holds a gun on you. That's the only advice I have. I don't advise you to do anything other than what they say, because I am not going to be held liable for anything anyone does. Thank you, Brozilla. You use your middle finger, John Beefy? Yeah, family's military family. My brother was the Halo jump master of the Army in the early 2000s. Right on. I actually, when I was in second grade in Italy, we were playing King of the Mountain. And back in the early 70s, tuna cans, when you cut them open, the cut was on the top, not like they are nowadays. And I was the smallest kid between me. It was me, my brother, and this black guy named James White. And they were both in 5th grade. I was in 2nd grade. So I climbed over my brother and I went like this and slammed my hand down on the top of the mountain for being king of the mountain. And there was a tuna can there. And my finger, basically, when it stood back up from just about a 1/4 inch below the bend, it like flopped backwards because it like totally almost cut it all the way off. And oh my God, those Italian fucking doctors, dude. We lived on the mainland. We didn't live near the American hospital. So I had to go to an Italian doctor. 2nd grade, motherfucker stuck 3 stitches in it. No Novocaine. Had 3 dudes, big fat Italian dudes, hold this little 2nd grader down for that doctor to do that. But he stitched my hand back up, 3 stitches. And I shit you not, my finger was not cut off. No nerve damage. Well, no. When I was qualifying in the military with the M16, I didn't get 1 round because there isn't a little electric shock that goes through, I guess, every now and then if it vibrates right. And my arm twitched, and I got 39 out of 40. But other than that, I've never had a problem with it. But yeah, so I could see why someone would squeeze with this finger, because I've damaged my shooting finger. I fucking damn near cut it off. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. But then again, you got to watch the squeeze. You got to watch the squeeze. I'd have to practice that with the middle finger. I've practiced it with my damaged finger. But I'm not too big into guns. I never really, I don't know. Yeah, if it's your day, it's your day, bro. I mean, someone has a World War II M1. Yeah, good luck with your little M16. That's it's my pastor. He said he'd call me back, but I'm on a live stream, and I don't want to do that thing where you like make it stop because the people on the other end know. And now I'm gonna have to. Nope. Okay. I'll call him back when this is over with. All right, Mickey, you take care. Yeah, like I said, you get a World War II M1 rifle. They're at 900 yards. M16's 300. Yeah, so they're 7 shot. Dude, you got 600 yards to reload before the motherfucker comes in range. What are you gonna do? I mean, that's why I say when people say they're gonna bug out, I'm like, yeah, bug out, all right. Let one person with a rifle have a bad day and you walk in front of him within 300 yards. And you're not going to have a day no more. So bugging out, really, unless you have somewhere to go and you have a safe route to get there. Yeah, man, I don't know. Oh, you were a sniper. Yeah, you're the kind of guy I'm just talking about. Someone goes to bug out through someone's property they're not supposed to be walking on, and they're a sniper. They have an M1. You can't touch them. Maybe if they're not a sniper, if they have an M1, old World War II rifle. Screw all these new ones. You can't ban the World War II gun. They're antiques, and the best antique out there, it's one. If I were to own a weapon for a decent mid-range, long range, M1. Now, for close range, shotgun. Because if you miss, the shotgun covers about 30 foot, not that. So, or, yeah, you'll hit them with the shotgun. Sniper's got to be able to read the air in front of them. Nah, Uzi throws out too many bullets, man, and you got to think of the recoil. I fired M16 on full auto. You got to keep pulling it down, man. You got to watch that recoil, man. You don't want that. Now, if you get these newer weapons, and I'd like that I've seen this coming out, is they drop the round from the bottom instead of the side, which is good because that means there's less upward recoil. Because a lot of the upward recoil was from the gas chamber coming back, pushing the round out the side. So you go up, two. But if it comes out through the bottom, you can stay more. It goes more back, not up. So when you have your shell ejected from the bottom, it's a lot better for accuracy and less recoil. And I don't have weapons. Yeah, I don't know nothing about none of that stuff. I was a desert warfare medic. And quite frankly, back in 85 when I signed up, there wasn't a chance in hell we were going to do anything over there. That's why I went that way. I was like, jungle, fuck no. Arctic, fuck no. Desert. Oh, yeah, we've never fought in a desert war. So World War II, we're never going to get another one. Yeah, okay. Damn, I was wrong. Come on, lucky number 7. Yeah, no, for close range, dude, I don't know, man. Close range. Shotgun. Semi-automatic. 7.9 shells, shotgun. Best, it goes through walls just like anything else. Yeah. And you get better coverage. And better chance of one shot, one kill, I had a cousin that lived in London. Actually, my mom died in Thurso. You have a pressure point on the inside of your mouth, a 1/16 of an inch up from where the gum line and the tooth meet on the top. And the same on the bottom, real center. The one on the bottom's for your heart, one on the top's for your lungs. If you can work on it through time to where you can push both pressure points with your tongue, you can lower your heart rate very well and easily. Yep. A good knife does do the trick at close range. I'd rather use the shotgun before you got hit the door though. That time, he who has the bigger knives probably got it going on. Well, for the most part, unless you come up with someone who's trained, and it's all bullcrap. Then what's neat? This motherfucker right here, a little handheld crossbow, and yes, it's got a bolt in it. It's not engaged. But yeah, that right there. This right here cocks up, grabs it, and you pull it back down. I wanted a wrist rocket, but out here in California, they're illegal. Wrist rockets actually come back and support here to where you can really pull back. This right here works great too. And neither of them require a license. But if you get hit with a marble from a slingshot, trust me, your hands will not be on a weapon. It'll be over whatever just got hit in your body. You'll be like, ah. This right here is the knife I carry. Little bitty fucker. But it's one finger open, so you just bing. But if you're going to knife fight, you might want to learn how to Filipino stick fight, because it's more effective than a knife. Yeah, Brozilla. Yeah, I know they got heavy gun laws out there. They control your asses big time over there. Yeah, well, I've got marbles right here in my desk, so I could be sitting at my desk and just pull real quick. And then I do have a shotgun. It's well hidden and covered, and I actually haven't cleaned it in 3 years. I'm sure it still works though. So where do you live now, Mr. Brazil? Brazilla? See, the wrist rocket's illegal here in California. I had one when we used to play paintball, and if I ran out of paintballs or it jammed or something, I had a wrist rocket in my cargo pocket, so I'd break it out, and I've actually hit guys in the head with the wrist rocket, hide behind a tree and just, and they look out, bam! I've actually done that on Mount Pilot, north end of Mount Pilot, or Mount Diablo, excuse me. Mount Pilot's in your area, John, North Carolina area. But then I found out they were illegal, so I had to get rid of it because I don't want to go to jail for something that stupid. It's not life-threatening me having one or not having one, you know. So. Okay, guys, this has been going for quite some time. I do appreciate both of you. 300K for T-Flat in London. In Scotland or in England? I guess it doesn't matter. Look up, I'm sure you can find Thurso easy enough. Yes, Filipino stick fighting has about 1 foot north of England. If you go to the very, very north of Scotland, you'll see a town called Thurso. And about 2 miles north of that on the North Sea, you'll see Hobburn Head Lighthouse. Back in the 70s, I lived there with my grandfather for 2 years. I hate the cold. My mom was born in Thurso. My grandfather was born in Thurso. My brother was born in Thurso. I'm the only one born in America on my mom's side of the family. My aunt still lives there. My mom died there. Yeah, Highlanders. Me and my brother here in America. My cousin, my mom's sister, her daughter lives in Thurso. Her son moved to Vancouver. Yeah, it's fucking cold. And the reason why I said look on the map, because if you see Hobburn Head Lighthouse right now, 50 meters away from Hobburn Head Lighthouse, there's a big, massive port made of concrete. That wasn't there when I lived there. If you follow that road all the way down to the very end where the docks used to be, that's where the school bus was. I actually did walk a mile in the snow. It sucked. And they go to school year round. You guys go to school year round. Man, summer. Well, you don't have a summer. It's always freaking cold. Yeah, I liked it when I moved to Scotland because we had just finished summertime and they had just started. And they only have like a 4-week summertime. So it was like summer back to back. But the bad thing was when we moved from Scotland back to America, summer was about to begin in Scotland. And when we moved back to America, summer had just ended. So we had to go from fucking school to school. And there was like 2 weeks of summer. It sucked. That's what happens when you hop hemispheres. Campbell's, yeah, you're a Highlander. Campbell's are Highlanders. I actually, my grandmother passed away. She was like 92. About 15, 20 years ago, I went back to Scotland and I was there for about 10 days. And I was at, what was it? Stirlingshire. I was staying in Stirlingshire. And every castle within 15 miles of Stirlingshire, I was able to break in and get a brick or a stone because they were all doing renovations at the time, or they were being renovated for the first time. And they had like holes in the wall. So I'd go to the center of the wall, which would be the oldest piece. And I actually scaled the west side of Stirling Castle just to see if I could do it. This was like in maybe 2005, 4, 3, somewhere around there. And scaled up there, broken, and their cameras were off because they were doing renovations. So they turned the power off this one section. So I climbed over the wall, and I had to scale. It's look at it, Brozilla. You'll see the western side. It's like rock, and then it goes to actual wall, but it's at like this. And at the top, they've got those little spinning things with the spikes on them, but there's room in between. And I got a piece of Stirling Castle, the kitchen floor from 1492. I got it. It's in Pensacola, Florida right now. Still labeled. And I was able to bring it back on plane too. Talk about smuggling shit. That was kind of fun though. What else are you gonna do if you're by yourself in Scotland? Nothing. Went to the Sir William Wallace Monument. It was a joke. I mean, it was nice, but the original bridge isn't even there. It's like it's not even in the same spot. It's like 100 yards away. Oh yeah, I got 8 different castles artifact from 8 different castles. A piece of the stone of either the wall or floor that was being excavated, whatever, however you say it. Yeah, I brought South Scotland back to Florida, Alabama area. And I was just talking to my friend last night. He mentioned he still has the trailer that has my shit in it down there because I haven't been back there for like 13 years when my dad died. I went back there. But he still has my shit in my little trailer. He said it was all still there. So that's cool. Pocket full of rocks, exactly. Actually, brick or rock or rock. Shit, nowadays I got this to work at the refinery. I had to get this thing called a TWIC card, and apparently it works for if you're like traveling. I can like go on boats, airplanes, and stuff. I just show this TWIC card, and I get by all security. I was like, cool, you know. Fuck, last time I flew was 12 years ago. But it's nice knowing I can make it through security. That's kind of cool. The phantom time theory. There are lots of different theories on that. It depends on how you're what you're looking at actually as far as time travel. Because if you go down to the quantum level, then time travel is just a matter of moving. And then there's like a Dune, the movie Dune, where they have the spice and they would fold space and be able to travel distance. That's time travel. You know, if you can travel 13,000 light years, which takes like 3,000 of our Earth years, and you can do it in a second because you've learned how to fold space, well, technically you're time traveling. Because right now, one of the theories of aliens not being made here to Earth is because they'd have to have a technology that would allow them to cover massive amount of space. In other words, if you were an alien and you came here to Earth and you made a presence here on Earth, and then you went home for lunch, by the time you came back, it would be 1,000 or 2 years later. Because for you, it'd be an hour. But in real time on that planet or on Earth, 1,000 years would have passed. So there's lots of different ways to look at time travel. Research history, find out what the Dark Ages actually were, and ask yourself how Islam did 437 jihads against us, and when did they occur? And they took slaves the whole time. I think you'll find it happened during the Dark Ages. Part of the reason why they call it the Dark Ages. If people knew the truth about history, we wouldn't be so happy with Islam, in my opinion. But I know the truth. They just covered up that part of the truth 3 months ago. A archaeological group was in the Sahara. Said they found millions of bones. Never heard another word from them. So I did a little research. Found out where they were. They were along the slave trade. They found the dead slaves' bones. The reason why Saudi Arabia doesn't have issue with reparations because they all died. They didn't allow them to breed. And they took 90% of them. Imagine if the truth was known. Anyhow, I can do nothing about that, so I just keep an open mind. I stay peaceful, calm, serene, and only deal with what I can deal with. Yeah, there's some reference to a time differential. I think when the August and July were added to the calendar from the base real time calendar, there's some suggestion of a day missing over time would add up and explain for a couple hundred years. That's why they call it Dark Ages. And there's also the fact that Islam had 437 jihads against us, and no one knows the time periods of them because they don't advertise them. They don't celebrate them as history, and we don't study history of the Dark Ages. Put it together. Study the Carthaginian Empire. That was a slave empire from Libya. They ran their whole empire off of slavery from Europe. Till the Romans kicked their ass. That happened at the Battle of Econimus, somewhere in the Mediterranean off of the southwest coast of Sicily.
Even though we can't survive in space for long.
Wow, my phone's fucking answering itself here. Because our leaders have sold out. They don't understand the Constitution. They don't understand what it is. They don't understand anything. They're shooting for something beyond a. There is a push for a new religion to come around the world, and no one's talking about this either. But you got to make people suffer, and then shit happens, and then someone steps up, and you call him a messiah, and you can garner in a new age. Basically, it's written in Revelations also. But this is not a religious channel, and we all are allowed to have our own personal beliefs, because the thing that people forget about religion is that one word. It's personal. God, there's one Bible, King James Version Bible, but if we all read it, we get different meanings out of it because of our personal relationship with God. So the book doesn't mean the same thing to everyone, because everyone gets something out of it. They get what they're supposed to get out of it for their lives, for their journey, for their mission. You know, right now there's an agenda being pushed, and that is not the Christian one. Oh, I'm glad you were listening, Chris. Yeah, people out there know. It's just, what can you do about it? I tell you what, guys, once I do get that crystal lightning thing going and get the Fergatite sold, and once I hit 1 million views I'll do 100,000 views. Once I get a video that gets 100,000 views from the lightning strikes, which I do have a guy down there who's real good with computers who can do an editing. So if I get a couple different views, slow-mo, change angle, different view, and make each lightning strike like maybe a 20-second thing, and maybe get 3 or 4 lightning strikes to where they do a 1.5-minute video with a little talking at the front and the back. One of those gets 100,000. I'll see if we can't do a meetup for everyone who's been on the live stream before it gets too crazy, because typically they only get like 4 or 5 people. And most of you are the same. Liberty and finance people. Yeah, and that's why I say, Christopher, it's personal, because we're all here for a different reason, and we have to fulfill that purpose that we were put here for. And not everyone was put here for the same purpose. So, you get what you need out of it. Yeah, and all those things are intentional. It's to weed out the weeds. I I'm not a preacher. I don't preach gospel. I don't hold the book up. My whole thing is I live my life by a certain standard, and people see that life and see what I get by living that lifestyle, and that's how I bring them to Christ. If they don't want to, that's cool. I'm not going to push them. But having said that, I've gotten a good citizens award from the mayor, several mayors actually. I've got all kinds of civilian accommodations from the local government here in this town for doing things for free because they needed to be done. So I stepped up and did them, and the acknowledgments I got, and no matter what color people are or whatnot, I'm liked by a lot of people, and I'm also respected enough to where, at least in the 2-3 block area that I live, crime's not like it is in the rest of Vallejo, because I went out of my way to put myself in harm's way to make sure it didn't happen in my area. And that's how, and people see that, and they're like, then I tell them, I'm a Christian. This is where, I was taught, if you can do something about it, you do something about it, or else you're liable for it, just like the person who did it. If you can stop a bad thing, you stop a bad thing. But everyone sees things different. Everyone's mission is different. So I don't preach, because not everyone was made to do what I'm down here to do, or what no one's made for what you're down here to do. So we all get a different message. And that's where blind faith comes in, John B.V. It says the Bible was changed by the Empire of Constantine. And that might be so. But if you have a personal relationship with God, the Bible is just a means to have that relationship. Once you have that relationship, it's a personal thing. And you'll know what's good and what's not good. And whether you do the right thing is on you. It's not the book. It's about frequency, vibration, and there's one other in there. I'm a little stoned right now. But you just got to get on the right wavelength and then continue your life, and don't get distracted from your wavelength by things that are going on around you, and increase that to things going on. Like you say, why are my cats so mellow? Because I increased my frequency, vibration, wavelength, whatever, just for my area. When people come over, which is very seldom, but when people come over, they calm down when they get here. They might be excitable, talk loud, talk fast, or whatever. They always seem to calm down when they get here, because that's what I exude. Hey, Chris P. What's up, my man? So what's new in the silver world, Mr. Chris P? Glad to have you here. Good to see you. You're late. You ever want a piece of silver? There's some Serge and I say. And Pablo. Which I'm surprised they're not here, but they're obviously got something else to do. I've studied all religions. I've studied Wiccan, I've studied Buddhism, I've studied Zoroastrianism, I've studied Scientology and Christianity. know thy enemy. Come on, John. Although Buddhism is very interesting in the history of that place, dude. And if you look at actual archaeological history, it's interesting. Nice. I went on a little rant earlier about platinum. So a gentleman had come on and said he liked, hey, Sarge. He liked hearing channels on platinum because there aren't any out there. So I started whooping out the info. We went to the moon with it. There's a lot about platinum. See you later. Good night, Sarge. Thank you for stopping by. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, buy some silver and some platinum. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. The platinum squeeze was caused by South Africa years ago. It's just now starting because of the choices and decisions the government made not to invest in the infrastructure and upgrade their coal-powered power plant. They decided to spend money elsewhere, and now that coal-powered power plant is not turning out full power. It's not even close. So it's got to reduce who it gives the power to. And the mines have already put out that they're reducing production by 15%. So it doesn't matter if anyone buys more this year than last year. The fact that production is going to be reduced by 15%, and on top of that, industrial use is anticipated to as much as 25% increase. Again, 40% spread. So if it's $1,000, I guarantee it's going to be $1,500-$1,600 sometime this year, just from that. Now, if people start buying it, you get into the FOMO of it. That'll cause it to go even higher because then it'll become unobtainable. Unless something comes. Now, there is a possibility that, like, I know Rolls-Royce, the company Rolls-Royce that makes the car engines and the cars, they're actually signing contracts with countries. I cannot get a hold of those contracts to find out what the countries are. They're still kind of somewhat secret because it is nuclear shit. But they've signed contracts with a couple companies to turn out to produce SMRs, which are small modular reactors between 1 megawatt and like 25 megawatts. So it's possible that a couple of these countries could be in negotiations to purchase those, and overnight could change their power situation. And if that occurs, at that point in time, my rant about platinum and people buying it won't be so bad. And I actually will go out there and say, hey, platinum's going to drop again because they took care of the power situation. They're going to be back up to full production, and, but that's not how it is right now. And I can't find out who those contracts from Rolls-Royce, what countries contracted with them for those SMRs. But that's possible, very possible. As a matter of fact, I don't see why the platinum miners aren't getting together and saying, hey, let's invest in a freaking SMR and keep this shit rolling, baby. But that's me, not them. Unicorn Fort Best. Unicorn Fat Best. Yes, sir. And we get real money for it. And if you make wise investments with your real money, you'll be doing real well. Yeah, I don't know what silver's going to do. Like I said earlier in the show, I had heard talk of China wanting to reevaluate gold instead of at like whatever the price is now. They wanted to match it with their yuan. So they wanted it to go to 68,000. If you look at the BRIC countries, BRICS nation countries, and all this other crap going on, you can see where they wanted to have control to be able to reevaluate gold and silver to $68,000 if BRICS goes through and is successful. But as I have said, they're going to fall apart because each and every country in BRICS, except for India, is falling apart. So I just heard recently that India is looking to pull out of BRICS. So if India pulls out of BRICS, every country in BRICS and that wants to join BRICS, it's like go woke, go broke, join BRICS, go broke. Because only the broke countries are going to be in BRICS. China is 200 million foreclosures in 2022. Yeah, they got 1 billion people, but they ain't all adults that work. You figure only maybe 600 million are. So they got 1/3 of their population on the streets. You think California's bad? Go to China. I did a report last year. They were accepting watermelons as a down payment. And I was laughing and I was wondering why people weren't paying attention. But now they're saying here in America, when they do stupid shit like they're doing now to get people to buy houses, the shit's falling apart. And that happened when China started accepting watermelons for down payments. And that was last year. So, this is like repeat, old news to me. The same thing happened in China last year. China is falling apart. Let's see. South Africa, big time falling apart. They can't even power their country with electricity. How bad do you have to be a third world country? Not power your country with electricity when you used to. Okay, that's South Africa. Now let's see, Brazil. Let's look at the B for Brazil. Fixing to be in a civil war. Okay, so we got Brazil. Let's look at Russia, already in a war and not doing well economically. India, they're pulling out. China, already talked about them, and South Africa. Yeah, I mean, they're all crap. What they're doing, though, is they're setting the stage for something later on, which might happen around 2030, but it's not going to happen right now. This is I see this when they say 100-year cycle. I mean, what was it? Read the book, The Forgotten. I don't have it. The Forgotten Depression, 1921 and 22. The reason why it ended so fast is because the government did nothing to stop it. What is our government doing now? Nothing. I'm just, let's go back 100 years. They're talking about this 100-year economic cycle, so it's got to be the Forgotten Depression. Because that's the only thing that was going on 100 years ago that was newsworthy. Because after the Forgotten Depression came the Roaring 20s, 23, 24, 25, 26, leading up to 29, the Great Depression, which will be 2029, 2030. Wow, it's amazing. History's repeating. That's cool, John. I actually was learning to be and spent 6 months of my life in 2001 at the Mobile Zoo, learning to be a tiger trainer to Nadia and Nana, 2 Siberian cubs that were born 6 months before I got there. And as far as that goes, you always see me all the time saying, be kind, helpful, and grateful. It will pay off, because if you want good neighbors, you got to be a good neighbor. It's like tithing. If you want money, you got to give money. So if you're a good person, you'll be surrounded by good people. So if crap does go bad, you'll be around good people that know you're kind, helpful, and grateful. Oh, the disease. I thought you said leopard. It says leopards. Oh, lepers. Okay, sorry, John. Okay, yeah, okay. Now that takes a whole new meaning. I like the animals better than the disease. For obvious reasons. All right, guys, well, I'm going to cut this off. It's been 2 hours. I do appreciate all you guys for being here. Chris, John, Christopher P, Christopher Bick, Chris P, John, Sarge. Where did Mr. Brozilla go? And then Mickey left already. I thank you guys a whole bunch. You guys take care. I do appreciate you showing up and seeing my basement. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all later in the next live stream, or in the next stream that we're on. There he is, Mr. Brozilla. You take care over there in that island. I'll talk to you guys later.